The start line of any race is a fascinating place to be. Scan the faces, look into the eyes of each runner, and you will witness the full array of human emotions. The joy of being here, the joy of being part of something greater than themselves. In some there is fear of what is to come, fear of their unknown potential, or that little voice of doubt. In others, a blankness, a time to clear the thoughts and simply wait. There will be plenty of time to think. This look of determination says it all. It says I'm ready. I've never been more ready. There are some who will have a day greater than they could ever have imagined. Others will face challenges and conquer them. Then there are those who will have a day to forget. But what is clear is that on this day, because of triumph or disaster, this day will provide stories and tales that will live long in the hearts of all who stood and endured.
UTA is for me. It's going to be a party. So for me, the day's going to be just exciting. Yeah, great challenge. I'm going to get to meet Scotty Page again. I find I meet him on these ultras. My strengths, I can tell you my weaknesses.
Right, let's do that first. Let's go weaknesses.
My weakness is running. Oh, my love for it. But my strength is routine, structure, scheduling 16-week programs and sticking to them, not missing a beat. And that flows on into my business life as well as family life as well. Yeah, but in saying that, the balance, I believe the wagon wheel of life for us at home and with business, and obviously my training has been probably at its best. This time it's probably been refined at its best.
Yeah. Leigh and Justin, how do you think their day's going to go? What do you think their strengths are on the day?
Look, Leigh is amazing. I've done Kokoda twice with Leigh and Justin. Leigh's a fierce competitor. She likes to slip under the radar. In the last couple of weeks, takes the pressure off herself very well. But on the day, she's just a leader. She's a natural born leader. Fui, we just don't know what Fui's capable of. He's an absolute weapon. He himself doesn't know what he's capable of. I think he's dipped the toes a couple of times. Sometimes he likes the temperature of the water, sometimes he doesn't, if you know what I mean. But he's on such a great journey. You ring Fui and go, mate, how's your day been? He goes, I went to the shop today and I bought this and I bought that. Life is it's full of discovery for him. Trav and I have just connected straight away. We're messaging each other every second day. I'm in awe of him. I know his career path. I know what he does there, and in the business that he's involved with, and how I look on Strava when he's got to do his training sessions fitted around that, and he does. He doesn't miss a beat, and I've got a huge amount of respect for that. it's just race mode now, mate. It's just, you know, the weather, we've gotten through that. There's been a couple of things, you know, little hiccups in the last 24 hours that you can't control. So now it's just time to relax, you know, just knowing that I've done, you know, ultra-wise, this will be my 6th. Not at this distance, obviously, but this will be my 6th ultra, so you just got to believe in yourself. Think about your family. What got me today was when we walked in, you know, there's all the branding and logos and everything. I saw the word ultra marathon. And every time I see that, it strikes a chord with me. You know, the sacrifices you make, you know, with your family, my wife and kids at home, and just the appreciation, you know, of like Wild Earth and obviously Rat Pack and the guys that train around you, you know, Leigh and Fui, etc. You know, all those sort of emotions come to the surface. But it's game on now. Good night's sleep and off we go.
Tradition is always to have normally homemade pizza, but we'll get some from the takeaway joint and just chill out. I just hope I can get a good sleep and then, yeah, bring it on.
So when you go to sleep tonight,
yeah,
what's the last thing that goes through your head?
Finishing. I just want to finish. Right now, I've stopped thinking about time and just started thinking about finishing.
That's so good. Nice hill.
Hey?
Feeling good. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, good. He took his jacket off. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys.
You doing,
Right,
Kev?
mate, yeah, good, mate. Real good.
A good start.
Yeah, lovely. Nice and warmed up. It's good to run again, eh? This old fella, mate. Wisdom at 80k, here we come.
Good luck, guys. See you soon.
Growing up in Canada obviously is like miles different than anything you'd sort of get here. I would say the two countries the people are kind of similar, but other than that you trade the sort of mountains and snow for ocean and sand. So, but yeah, growing up in Canada, you know, getting into the different various sports there, obviously you've got your hockey and skiing and snowboarding and all the good winter sports. So my father got my brother and I into skiing when we were like barely, as soon as we could walk, we were on skis, headed out to the mountains and all that sort of good stuff. We lived pretty much on the border of Quebec and Ottawa, and so we'd head out there, take about an hour to get out to the mountains, what we call them out there, and that's where we learned how to ski from crazy young age and ice skating in Ottawa. We spent heaps of time just out in, you know, the sort of the wild and you know, learning how to camp and make fires and all that sort of stuff. So and then, you know, putting us in summer camps and everything. It's kind of funny because back in the day I used to dread like we'd have one or two every summer. We'd do like these incredibly long walks, and then we'd, you know, cook our food outside and then go camping for the night or something, and I used to dread them like anything. It was I probably now looking back, it was probably like 10 kilometers or something, but it felt like a, you know, never-ending journey. My life as a chef. Well, working as possibly a reluctant chef for most of my working life. It's a tough way of making a living. I'm sure there's easier ways of making a paycheck, but like I always say that it's few jobs you can get, and you just basically hang out with your mates all day. Play with some food, listen to some music, and it's pretty cruisy. But when it gets heavy, and I used to think that used to transfer to running a bit.
I hated cross country. I hated, as a kid, Mum used to have to bribe me to do cross country. I liked athletics, but any long distance running, I hated it. I think I miss playing netball when I'm out on a long run and it gets hard. I always think of netball. I think about having those girls around you to lift you up when you're down, just the friendships, just having everyone there pretty much just to lift you up when you're down, those tough times, but then to celebrate when you do something awesome. As a PE teacher at an all-girls school, I have the amazing job of sharing my passion with hundreds of girls aging from 3.5 all the way up to 12 years old. I also do a little bit of work with the older girls, which is really, really cool. Going to work each day, I absolutely love when I walk into the gates. Normally there's girls that run up and hug me from all different levels. I have some around my legs, around my waist, telling me about their day, telling me about what they did on the weekend. I love sharing their stories. Some of the values that I try and teach the kids or want them to value within themselves is, to be proud in who you are, to hold yourself up high, to have confidence to go into any sport or any any aspect of life, knowing that they can give it 100%, not just in sports, in everyday things. I love teaching them that women are strong and we can do anything that boys can do, and that's why I love doing all this sorts of stuff, because they love seeing my photos and they say, "Hey, Miss Thomas, you're the only girl in that photo," and I say, "Yeah, I can do what they can do." I love that the girls, I love being able to be a positive role model for them, and being able to show them that I can do anything, or I can help them do anything that they want to do in life. And it doesn't matter if it's a boys' sport or you know, things like that. Like, if you want to go play rugby, go play rugby. Like, that's awesome. Don't let anything stop you, you know. And growing up, I was a tomboy. I actually thought I think I was a boy until I was about 11 years old. And I think that's where it all started. I just loved doing anything that, you know, my brother could do, or that my good mates at school could do. And yeah, being a teacher, I just love being able to show the girls that there are no limits and you can reach the sky if you want to.
That CP, the CPs are pretty sweet. A little refuel and, I don't know, reset the button. Yeah, come right a bit since the last time I saw you. So Scotty's making ground.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll see him soon.
We'll catch you soon, mate.
Yep, alright.
It's probably going to be up at CP4, somewhere around there.
Every broken man finds his idol hands.
Yeah, it's always a bit emotional when you hit that 42k mark. You're now in the ultra marathon territory, and you know, you ask yourself, do you belong? You know, it's a humble question. It's a real leveler. So that's about as spiritual as I get. So
How's the body feeling?
yeah, good mate. Good. Better than I was 35k.
And the mind?
Yeah, the mind's good. Just miss my kids, you know, miss my wife, that sort of stuff, but far out, I'm going home Monday, aren't I? Hopefully with a buckle.
When I said I do that day.
How's the aid station?
Yeah, pumping.
Put some Gatorade in.
Had some Gatorade, and yeah, feeling good.
Miles are back.
Yeah, they're back.
Alright guys,
Bye.
see you at CP4.
Well,
You're getting delusional, aren't you?
yeah, you got it.
Right. Good buddy.
Yeah.
You're doing well, mate.
And I've been
Woo, Scotty.
about
How you doing, mate?
All right, man,
Okay.
we're getting there.
See you soon, buddy. Leading the pack.
but I've been thinking
Good guys.
Hello.
You're leading the pack now.
Doing well.
yeah, I've gotta leave this town to find my way. And when that plane touched down on that island town, I knew that my life's worth.
Growing up in a Filipino family is pretty awesome. It's just, you know, really instills like caring about other people and treating everyone like family and just showing love to everyone, even if they're strangers. But one of the biggest sort of things was I had a really strong basketball influence growing up. So I played that for about 10 years or so. Favourite story ever by my mum was that when she was pregnant with me, she used to watch all those old school Michael Jordan videos, and she thought that was the reason that I would always stick my tongue out as a baby, because that's like his trademark thing. Growing up and playing basketball, I think some of the big things that taught me that have linked with running for me personally is just perseverance and not giving up, and knowing that there are things that are out of your control and you've just got to deal with it, and you just got to stick with it and persevere, and you might not get the outcome you want, but at the end of a game the clock will stop, and at the end of the race there's a finish line, and you've just got to do what it takes to get there. As a runner and picking up the sport, even though I've had some really good days out there, I've had, you know, quite a few bad ones, I guess, as every runner does. It would just mainly be, for me personally, just staying mentally in it. There's just been times on race days where my head just hasn't been there, and I don't know whether that's just from overtraining or doing things that I don't want to do but I feel like I should do, and because I guess of that mental fatigue, you're emotionally not in it. Or 2016 Kokoda, that was a shocker for me, man. Just really felt just terrible. Like we did get through it, but I just wasn't the best team player on the day. I just really felt like I let everyone down, but there was just a point where I was just like, why am I here? Like, I'm not doing these guys any favors whatsoever. Like, I don't know what it was, to be honest, if I was just overtired or overtrained, or I just went in it with the assumption that because I've done it before, it will be a breeze, but Kokoda's never a breeze. As a teacher, it's one of the most awesome jobs ever, because like you're constantly in communication with people. They really love it. Like, you know, every day they ask if I went for a run or how my runs were on the weekend, or what events I've got coming up, and it's really cool. Like, because I guess at the age that you are, you don't realise how big something is until you say what you're doing to a kid. Hopefully it inspires them. Like, I got a few kids saying that they want to do, you know, something like a Kokoda when they're old enough. I, you know, probably shouldn't say it, but I do show them like ultra running videos in class sometimes on YouTube, and they think that's pretty sick.
You are a machine, mate. Hang in there.
Thanks, mate.
I'll catch you at CP5.
Possible, eh?
You're freaking
Mate,
killing it.
you're running him down.
You make
Happened at like 25 times in flying for the last like 2 years.
See you soon, buddy.
Yes, killing it. Yeah.
Well done, Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty.
Good on you, champion.
Keep going.
All good, buddy?
You see Leigh in the buoy yet?
No, not yet.
Trav's in there.
Yeah. He's strong, eh?
Doing well. Bo's doing so well.
Just very vague at the moment.
Yeah. Get some food into you.
Good stuff, guys. Good to see ya. Hang in there, mate. Come on, mate.
How
good is
that? Thank you so much. Thanks, buddy. Champion. Thanks, man. Thanks for your support. It's way back.
The last 20 days was the headlamp shot.
They just destroyed me. Stairs. He's just, mate. When he felt strong, he did it.
Dude, you gotta keep an eye on the other two though, eh?
Unreal. No worries.
How bloody good was that?
Awesome.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Unreal. You look strong.
Strong you look at the end, you were fine. Yeah, we were good. Maybe we should have tried a bit harder. Real good. Yeah.
Feel good?
Yeah. How's Paigey and
They're all in there.
in where?
They're all in their recovery zone. Scotty and Trav came over the line together.
Yeah.
What time? Only about